This presentation will bring together some of the ideas of imperialism with culture, arts, literature, and even technology and science. So again, this is about imperial culture. Much of the information, in addition to our regular textbook, World History Patterns of Interaction, comes from Western Civilizations, W. Norton Publishers, and the Western Heritage AP edition, Donald Kagan, Stephen Osmond, and Frank Turner. Images of imperialism were everywhere, were pervasive, throughout European and American culture. Much even was included in advertising in order to entice people to certain places, sell some of the products that were the result of imperialism and industrialization. It even went so far as, in an academic sense, embodying many of the images of imperialism in museums, almost as if they were bragging. Of course, much of this combined into popular culture that included even songs, and hymns, really, to imperialism, which really was a combination of patriotism, nationalism, and of course, imperialism. The song you hear in the background is Rule Britannia. Many of these songs being co-opted as anthems and so forth for the various countries, and a source of national pride. Rule Britannia, rule the waves. Britons never, never. Rule Britannia, rule the waves. It even includes the line, Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. So as we ended that last little piece, talking about songs and popular culture of sorts, it is important to note that many of these nations derived a huge sense of empire and identity. Again, a combination nationalism, patriotism, and imperialism. Often it was seen as a source of great pride in terms of identity. It was often said that the sun never sets on the British Empire. Basically, there were British colonies, protectorates, dominions, all throughout the globe. To use a modern concept, in every time zone. And finally, one of the important things that we will just touch on here, and perhaps in other Magis type projects, as it is still very, very, very relevant. You may have even touched on it back in 9th grade if you worked on Guns, Germs, and Seal. But one of the other really important concepts and topics that comes out of the end of this 19th century imperialism, although it existed well before imperialism, are the many different theories on race and superiority. We touched on it briefly in some other pieces when we talked about the concept of the white man's burden. And I still think that some of the poetry we saw used this as in kind of a sarcastic way, but others believed that it was more about, and as a result of, the 1800s and the new ideas from science. Biology. Even Darwin and such. But again, this is a very, very deep topic, one well worth our time, and we'll do a few more projects and lessons on this topic as we go through. Keep in mind, you may remember this as being debunked if you did this in 9th grade by Jared Diamond in Guns, Germs, and Steel. A very pivotal work.